So I kind of wanted to go over gear, talk about why this is single self round friendly, and also how you can min-max it for endgame as well. Kind of have everything here together between the two different gear types. So the gear down here, for the most part, is what I had in the Gauntlet, and that got me up to level 90, where I stopped paying attention and died. Honestly, for most of that time, I had a 5 link. I think up until like level 88 or so, just with that I'd crafted myself. So I just got a 6 link right at the end, right before I left. So it wasn't even that important. Um, and this was really easy to craft because I just needed to get the +2 to socketed bow gems and either attack speed or damage over time modifier. This has a tier 3, you can see it has a tier 3 attack speed, and then I just crafted damage over time on it along with socketed bow gems. The 2 plus 2 to socketed bow gems. You can do +1 to socketed gems as well. That just, it doesn't give you as much unless you have Empower. If you have Empower, then you can do then +1 to socketed support gems, I guess it is better, or +1 to socketed gems is better. But if you don't have Empower, then just use the +2 to socketed bow gems. Toxic Rain scales off of gem level, so the higher the gem level, the better. And the rest of this stuff is pretty much just trash. I focused on attack speed where I could, and then whatever I needed. This had a chance to dodge hit attacks, which was nice. Other than that, not very amazing. And like I said, I got this around level 85 or 88 or something. Other than that, I think I was using a 4 link with my self-cast Toxic Rain up until that point in time. This had the special Matadals mod that allows dodge spell hits, which is nice but not necessary. Good movement speed, and I use this for the most part with the wrong allocation until towards the end, where I was able to get a opalescent and allocate Panopticon. And you'll see in the build guide it kind of goes over how to do that, or when to make that switch. Let's see here, just kind of trash rings, whatever I needed. For my flasks in the Gauntlet, I did not have a Stibnite flask or this Witchfire Brew or Dying Sun. I also didn't have, so what I was using, and I didn't have the good rings that have minus mana cost. I never got to Elrion's mod for that. So what I did is I used this Life Flask, a Phasing, a Jade Flask, a Stibnite, and a Hollowed Hybrid Flask, Enduring Hollowed Hybrid Flask. This was just, I just spam this when I spam my other non-life flasks. So these guys, my Stibnite, my Jade, and Evasion, or my Adrenaline Quartz Flask, and that was my mana. My mana always stayed up because of that. So not too bad if you don't have until you get these mods. So this, and then the gems is just Ballista Totem, Efficacy, Vicious Projectiles, Toxic Rain, of course, highest level you can get it. Level 21 is best. Quality is less important than the level, but if you can get a 21, 23, that's even better. Swift Affliction and Void Manipulation. If you can sub out Efficacy and with increased area of support, if you feel that helps you. It's just a feel thing. Some people like this because it allows more of the pods to overlap and they think they get a better uptime. It's up to you. It's a feel thing. Okay, so that was my Gauntlet gear, roughly. So this is my good harvest gear, or good tier, whatever harvest gear, and you'll see that, I guess I'll put this, it's not even the one I had in there. I don't know what I had in there. What did I have? Oh yeah, I had that's my Ballista totem. You'll see that I don't even have all my gems in. I just don't even need them. But you can, you can put more stuff in here for sure. So really good end game bow. You can see that there. It's got everything you need. It's got the plus the socket of gems, tier 1 attack speed, and tier 1 dot multiplier, and then you can craft the +2 socket of support gems and the chaos damage over time multiplier. It's a perfect bow, essentially. The rings and the ami are whatever works for you. Just make sure you allocate Panopticon and get the Elrian channeling skills have -9 or 10 to total mana cost. Whatever you can get. The higher you can get, the less mana you need reserved, and the quicker you can drop this mana flask. Other than that, it's just good gear. Carcass Jack is best in slot purely because of the area of effect, area damage and area of effect, and you have enough evasion and everything with the flasks and enough damage mitigation that you don't need like a tanky chest. So Carcass Jack is best in slot, but like I said, I was running a 5-link whatever just to get by, and it worked just fine. And you can look at the rest of the gear. This is just a trash helmet that this is actually my helmet from Gauntlet, just a trash helmet. Works just fine. You can go over the gear and the build guide, path of building, if you want, but those are the main things. Carcass Jack and a endgame bow with rings and amis that have -9 or 10 to total mana cost. Everything else just kind of fits in where you want it. Another nice thing to have that you definitely don't need is this aspect of the spider skill. You can throw it on a ring and just beastcraft it if you have access to it. If you don't have that, just use, just maybe swap in flesh and stone. I think I never actually, in the Gauntlet, I never actually got to do the Uber Lab, so you'll notice that I don't even have that allocated. But if I did have that allocated, I'm thinking, you can go whatever you want, really, honestly. You can, except for Master of Metal. Master of Metal does nothing for you. You can do this to do enemies taunted, take 20% increased damage. You can do Adrenaline if you want, a little additional. If you get to low life, it'll pop you back up pretty good. You can do that if you want some additional damage mitigation. If you're doing hardcore, especially hardcore single self-found, and you get access to the Uber Lab, that'd probably be the last one I'd take. You can also, another good one, I think the one I put in Path of Building, is Inspirational. It gives you increased effect of non-curse auras, so increased effect of malevolence, or is that a curse aura? I don't know. Anyway, whatever auras you have, and then, no, I guess that works, yeah. Increased effect, so it gives you additional damage with your malevolence, and then also, since you have open gem slots, if you want them, you could throw in a banner skill, and banner skills reserve no mana, so that could give you a little bit of extra, a little extra defense. I think Dread Banner has Fortify, and there's something in War Banner that is also defensive. So if you want some extra defenses, this is a good one. Both this or Adrenaline. That's it.